Pasar saham Indonesia beberapa pekan ini kelihatan seperti kekurangan tenaga. Kondisi mungkin akan menjadi lebih lesu melihat rapor di kuartal 1 yang tidak menggembirakan. Apakah kondisi ini akan terus berlangsung di sepanjang tahun? Lalu apa yang terjadi jika S&P menaikkan peringkat surat utang Indonesia? Apa yang harus dilakukan investor? Berikut analisis pasar saham dari Barat Joshi, Head of Investment Aberdeen Asset Management.
The market started off in the first quarter very strongly, and because there were a lot of expectations that infrastructure spending is taking place, the feel-good factor was being, people were consuming. But after the first quarter results, I think they're still very uncertain. The push by consumers have not been as strong, and despite auto sales have actually plateaued, like stabilized, but mass market consumerism like Unilever have not been as strong. We were expecting high single-digit recovery in terms of volumes and prices. Companies are very cautious on raising prices. So when companies are very careful on raising prices, consumer demand has not been very strong. Companies are generally very cautious. That's what happened in first quarter. Now, as we move into the second quarter, we are looking for big data points of a big recovery, and this will be a very good indicator because Lebaran is when everyone generally consumes, and we are watching this carefully. If it improves, then we will have a very nice run in the third quarter, and if it becomes very similar to last year's Lebaran, where consumption spending patterns have not changed, then we are not going to look at the exciting post-Lebaran market trends. The large caps have now become very expensive. The likes of Telkom Indonesia, Unilever Indonesia, they are trading very expensive, and the reason being is because people are becoming more defensive. The mid-small cap companies are now very cheap, but you have to be very selective. So if you were to pick some of these mid-small cap companies, you have to go for companies which are net cash, have a very sound business model in a challenging times, because now the competitors are becoming very competitive. People are now dropping prices. They want volumes. They're more focused on volume. So you have to pick businesses which can compete in a very low demand environment like what we are now. Immediately when there's an S&P investment grade rating, you will see a strong rupiah. You will see a very lively bond market. Bond prices will actually run up. You will also see a very exuberant or excited stock market. But these are only very short term. You get the one-off because people suddenly realize that there's a lot of opportunities to invest, especially foreigners in Indonesia. But this is only temporary. Structurally, this is actually very positive for companies. Why? Because companies will now borrow cheaply from the market. And that's very important because now banks are the only avenue for borrowing money, and if they can tap the offshore bond market or onshore bond market, their costs of doing business will be reduced going forward. You always want to be invested in the market, and especially in equity when everyone is bearish. So Indonesia is going through a cycle downturn, no doubt, but we know that this cycle is only temporary. There will be a recovery. It's only a matter of time, and the thing is, Indonesia's it's a consumption country. Indonesia is a consumption country. It's only a matter of time they will start consuming. Your motorbikes will be replaced, your cars will be replaced. So what you want to be doing is you positioning your portfolio into more equity exposed, because valuations are very attractive. Just be mindful of expensive large cap companies. There are a lot of mid-size or large cap companies which are trading very attractive, and that's where you want to be invested in.